Welcome back, guys. As promised, I know it was just a small light goal, but we reached the light goal of 3, so I am making the third part. It did take a couple weeks. I'm sorry, I was doing a lot of work. And I've moved now, so it should be a little easier. So we will start off. Where were we? Okay, we last left off Kirito finished SAO, completing it and killing Akihiro Kayaba. Now we are entering into the next part. He's finally waking up. He goes to find Asuna still asleep, and that unlocks his 3 Tomoe Sharingan in real life. His game version and real life version do not have the same mixture. The game sort of has an excelled version. Seeing this, it annoys him as well. But he continues, and then when we get to I forgot his name, the dude that starts, where he's like, Asuna's my wife, like messing with her hair, Kirito gets pissed. Very, very, very pissed. That makes him thinking that he's going to, like, once again, lose someone he's gonna love, and his eyes shift to unlock his Mangekyo. His Mangekyo, y'all seen, not many people actually knows, but Shisui's let's do Kakashi's. It sort of looks like Kakashi's Mangekyo Sharingan. I'll probably draw a design later for his Mangekyo and post it. It's gonna take a bit. And that's his Mangekyo for now. The person, I can't remember his name. I'll go back and look it up for next episode. He gets scared and then walks away. He once again does the spar with his sister, but when he picks up the sword, it gets coated in a green energy, and it snaps his sister cousin, her sword. She's surprised, and she wants to tell her grandparents, but he tells no, and sort of puts her under a genjutsu to hide the fact of what he can do for now, because he doesn't want to get forced into kendo again. We get to him meeting with Egio, I don't remember his real life name, and getting told about Alfheim Online, and then him diving into it. We see him fall just to see the weird glitch, and him appear. And this time, he is all black, but on his back is the Uchiha symbol. I decided I'd add it to his character from now on. We see him summon Yui and talk to her. And then we get to, he sees Lifa. They start laughing at him, he's a joke. But then let's go back 5 minutes. When he summoned, once he was clearing his inventory after Yui tells him to, he realizes he still has his Sharingan skill unlocked. For an unknown reason. And then he knows it's active, and it gives him a speed buff. Hold up, disclaimer. So, depending on the game, his Susanoo changes when he unlocks his Mangekyo Sharingan in that game. And Sword Art Online, he had dual wields with that. And this one, we're gonna make his Susanoo match the game. So when we get to Gun Gale Online, that should be funny. So we get to him seeing Lifa being Dunes, and him asking, can I take care of this? And her saying, sure. And he blitzes the first guy. Easy. And then, because it is a magic game and it's not really cheats, he says Flame Control Amaterasu, which basically allows him to shoot his Amaterasu out on people. So basically what Itachi can normally do, but in Sword Art Online it was more limited to surrounding his sword as a sword skill. Just so it's not basically cheating. And he slashes the other dude, and the last dude is freaked out because this dude just used flame magic when he's a Spriggan. Or, he thinks is flame magic, and it is best for him to be Spriggan, because genjutsu is basically illusionary magic. That is probably my favorite part about all this. So we get to him saving her and them going to the Spriggan village. Him also learning how to use his wings. After the talking and they're going to go off, I'm probably actually going to finish this part of the season in this episode. Just go through it really quick. And we see them talking and still can't remember his name. Never can. I'll probably figure it out later. Him cussing him out about the filthy Spriggan and drawing his sword. And Kirito, off instinct, uses his Sharingan and was about to put him in a Genjutsu when Leafa cuts in about all that stuff. And then they take off. We still get them resting and trading and then telling and eating the sour sticks. And then we get to the cave where they're once again hiding from the what do you call it? The bat. Yeah, I think it was a bat was the thing. And them going into the wall just to her to run out and destroy it. And when they get to them being cut by the barrier and we see them trapped, he realizes in his magic he still has Susanoo unlocked. So he's walking forward and he's pretending to say magic, but really he's saying ninja style Sharingan special ability Mangekyo form Susanoo, just so it's kind of magic. Though he can't activate it on will, but he decides to say the words. And we see a giant let's do a blue figure. We're gonna give him a blue Susanoo. And on Susanoo's arm is a giant buster sword, kind of like the Tatsuki blade. Sorry if I said it wrong. And it has fairy wings to base off his character and the fact that they're in a flying game. And it's just walking towards them. And they're scared. This thing just appeared out of nowhere. And they start screaming, it's just an illusion. And then and then you see him say, Sharingan Mangekyo, special ability, level 2, flame control Amaterasu, and purple and black flames spin around his sword. And all of a sudden, his blue sword becomes black with flames. And he slashes them, leaving one alive, before deactivating it. When Leafa sees him again, he has blood coming from his eyes. Yui says it's just counteract from the overusing a skill, his magic, and then she uses a healing spell. The dude offers the one little minion money to figure out, and they get into the thing with what's his name? Where they talk, they talk, I can't remember their names. The dude that loves Leafa, and he's like, tells her about the meeting, and they take off. And Kirito's like, I can make us go fat, and grabs her hand and bursts off using the Sharingan as a speed buff. And they take off towards the meeting. He still does I'm the ambassador of the Spriggans, stand down. The dude says, look like one, beat me in this amount of time without dying, and you can do it. And he survives. But then, of course, he does the whole, I don't feel like that anymore, I'm just gonna kill you. And instantly, Kirito says, Amaterasu, burst. And this is my own altered version of Amaterasu, where it shoots out he shoots out a bit of oil like the toads do. But it does it spreads out to make a circling ball around the target, so it's a giant oil cage. And then he activates Amaterasu on it, creating pretty much a flaming prison. I don't know a good name for it yet. Maybe we'll call it Flame Prison. You guys can decide in the comments if you want to, or I'll come up with a decent name for it. And he picks up his sword and once again activates his Susanoo, which can fly due to the fact it has fairy wings. And the sword, and he on will spends almost all his magic, though in this chakra is basically magic, so it's the same thing, but he has an unusually high amount, and slashes through all of them, and then they get healed and they like back off. The the leader of the Cassian, but whatever that they are, I forgot what it is, still cuddle up to him and try to seduce him. And Leafa was like, he's mine. I mean, Leafa kind of told me how she's gonna take me. We still have him going there and here and getting the key card. Him going in, but this time he makes it a lot further because he basically uses his Susanoo sword without its form and goes through, beating again, and Leafa heals him, and then they're talking, and then they realize it's each other because he says Asuna, and they realize it's each other. We still go through the thing where they're like talking. Then we get to the part where they're like teaming up. Sorry, I stepped on my dog. They're teaming up to take over the dungeon, and you see him use his Susanoo and launch through. He couldn't use it before because he didn't want to waste that much energy, but he launches through them, getting to the same thing where he has like open up the cage, and we see Yui just say, get out of my way, and destroy the cage. And then we get to the fight where he's got the sword through him and he's there, and dude starts tearing off Asuna. And then, him thinking he's going to lose another person, his Mangekyo does activate. Because it's a magic realm, he could access the Mangekyo's abilities, but they were a lot more weaker and limited. That's why he didn't use it during the first time he fought. He's very limited to using it. But now that his Mangekyo activated, he has full armored Susanoo instead of just the normal Susanoo that he could copy. And he still gets to talk to Maki Okaya, but like, aren't you the one that defeated my game? Is that the same Kirito? And he stands up, takes over the system, tosses the dude Excalibur, and then just says, Susanoo Flame Control, Indira's Arrow, and a giant bow and arrow with black flames appears. I'm only doing this because I feel like he should be able to get the chance to use all Sharingan abilities. And he shoots it through, I can't ever remember his name. I don't even care, he's a stupid villain. And then we get to him running to the hospital to see Asuna, the dude going with the knife, but because he has unlocked some of it, and he unlocked his Mangekyo, okay, so he unlocked his Mangekyo in real life when the dude starts attacking him, thinking that he already killed Asuna, and now he's going for him, because he has a knife, and his Mangekyo activates, and he gets a cut, and he just looks at him, eyes bleeding, and says, Amaterasu, and burns him alive, instead of just slashing his neck, and then just continues walking to see Asuna. And then, let's see, 2 days after that, their grandpa comes to explain to him what he is, thinking he's finally old enough, and he says, I know I'm an Uchiha. It told me. He's like, how? The games did. They showed me. And then his grandfather finally understands that the games are good for them. They showed him how to control his power, how to use it, how to not abuse it, and he accepts, I can't say his name, Kiyagaya, yeah, as his family, and they finally make up, and we see him attempt to do kendo. So this will be the time when Asuna is still recovering from it. So in the next part, we'll get to the next season of it, of where they do the Gun Gale Online. But they start hanging out finally, and he explains to her who he is, and she says that's amazing. And we will continue into Gun Gale Online next time. Thank you for listening. I'm gonna put a like goal of 4 likes, because we've at least got 20 people. 4 likes, and I will post the next one as soon as possible. So, thank you for watching.